So this is one I've missed throughout my videos on Trench Crusade, the Feldkaplane, a counter to the Goetic powers of the court, fielded by the Free State of Prussia, but also wanted by the seven-headed serpents to make a Goetic warlock from. And how would this differ from a desecrated saint? And what angel might one have a feather from? Welcome back to the trenches, and let's begin. Trench clerics who fight in the Great War include a vast array of both ordained and secular fighting ministers of the Holy Word. A good example of such are the specially trained that the church militant of the Free State of Prussia dispatches to counter the heretics, legions, sorcerers and high priests, who pit their faith against the fiendish Goetic powers of the Inferno. Due to the importance of their role, and because of the high blood price the heretic commanders have set for each chaplain killed, a price which is doubled by Mammon for captured individuals, as these priests are prime materials in constructing the dreaded Goetic warlocks. And this is a point I will discuss at the end, after we've gone through the basic lore. The Church and the Free State go to extraordinary lengths to train and equip their chaplains with the finest weapons and armour. In battle, these Prussian trench clerics don thrice blessed armour crafted in the sacrosanct workshops beneath Cologne Cathedral. They are styled after the armours of a bygone age to inspire the troops, but their functionality is state-of-the-art as they utilise the latest metallurgical innovations. From the Königsberg Institute of Warfare, the location of the workshops is not without controversy, as both the Free State of Prussia and the Holy Roman Empire claims ownership of Cologne. This dispute stems from the time when the Free State seceded from the Empire after holding its first democratic elections. These elections were originally instituted specifically to gain independence from the Empire, but proved immensely popular with the people and have remained in place ever since. Luckily for Prussia, the Church considers the war effort more important than petty regional squabbles, and has thus far placed the cathedral under their care in order to keep the war production going. The chaplains' superb armaments are not just limited to protection, they also carry chemical substances. When detonated, the shrapnel of these grenades scatters embers that rapidly burn through anything caught in the blast. The standard issue melee weapon of the Feldkaplane are swords. Sometimes they are blades fashioned after the burning blade carried by the angel that protected the Garden of Eden. The reference I can see for this is the cherubim that guarded the entrance to the Garden of Eden, so perhaps in memory of those and their swords, while others are smaller copies of the mighty brands carried by the paladins. Many frontline chaplains are repeatedly reprimanded by the Church for their overuse of inhaling holy smoke, a chemical compound which uses many of the same ingredients as the martyrdom pills. But due to the extraordinary mental and physical toll the war takes on their minds and bodies, the practice persists, even though many chaplains are lost to overdosage or have to be retired from active service due to their minds and bodies finally succumbing to the combination of stress, wounds and damage to the nervous system that this smoke causes. The Great Hospice of New Antioch treats hundreds of such cases each year, withered husks of men who rarely regain their sanity. Each chaplain carries a reliquary with them, from which their original name, Capellanus, is derived from. The Feldkaplane, depicted here, Freiherr Rainer Schwendner of the Swords of the Lord Division, goes to battle with a carved wooden backpiece depicting the Prussian eagle and a reliquary said to hold a feather of the angel Uriel within it. The angel Uriel, who was the angel of mythology in real-world myth and shares the rank of archangel with Michael, Gabriel and Raphael, according to, yes, that's right, the Encyclopedia Britannica, because in Hebrew it means fire of God or light of God. He's been variously identified in Jewish traditions as an angel of thunder and earthquake, as the wielder of the fiery sword in driving Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden, as the destroyer of the hosts of Sennacherib, and as the figure who enlightens Ezra with visions, and generally as an angel of terror, prophecy, or mystery. Sennacherib is likely a reference to a poem by Lord Byron, which according to the BBC Size is a short narrative poem retelling a biblical story from the Old Testament, in which God destroys King Sennacherib's Assyrian army as they attack the holy city of Jerusalem. So so perhaps it's a reference that one of the angels serving the Creator might have done that. Ezra is a reference to a religious leader of the Jews who returned from exile in Babylon, a reformer who reconstituted the Jewish community on the basis of the Torah law. So that line I'd say I'd come back to now. Heretic commanders have set for each chaplain killed a price, which is doubled by mammon for captured individuals, as these priests are prime material in constructing the dreaded Goetic warlocks. So what are these warlocks? As stated in the law, they are horrific creations from the death factories of the third circle of hell, manufactured from captured priests, prophets, vicars, rectors, and monks. So you can see how the Feldkaplane would fall into that category. They have fiendish machines that first burn their flesh away with hellfire, encasing the still living skeletons in an infernal suit of armour and stamping them with Goetic runes. And regarding Mammon, we are told Mammon, the great devil of greed, sells the services of his own personal battalions of warlocks to the highest bidder. So you can see why he might want so many to serve that purpose. So earlier I referenced desecrated saints and asked what the difference was between them and Goetic warlocks. Desecrated saints who were once righteous rulers or religious leaders dedicated to bringing prosperity and glory to their people. But pride, desperation, or an eagerness to achieve martyrdom led them to commit some indelible sin or evil, often for the motives they believed to be good and pure. When their deeds led to their downfall and death, they were entombed inside unholy reliquaries, only to wake in hell, still encased in the shrine that would once become their prison. So that seems to be the big difference. The Goetic warlock is made of someone living, but captured, and let's say turned by the court of the seven-headed serpent, where saints have died and in death are used by hell to be a powerful symbol. So let me know what you think to this law. A religious person on this side of the Creator, using that faith to combat the Goetic users of the court, is a pretty interesting concept. I like those slight differences between the two types of creations of the court that serve them as well. Both damned in the end, but used differently by the court. And if you like this video on Trench Crusade, then you might also like this one. And if you want a number of videos on Trench Crusade, then why not check out the playlist on the channel. I also cover 40k and have out at best 3 a week and at worst 1 on a Saturday. There are 2 playlists for that on the channel. One has everything and one is well into the hundreds, which is the everything one at this point. The other focuses on a favourite period of mine within 40k called the Dark Age of Technology. Lots of lore and theories based on what little we know from there. Historically, and to return recently and again one day, I did a load of videos in June which also have its own playlist on the channel, and there's also a playlist for the Expanse books and TV series, most of the books, and a short playlist for the Sun Eater series by Christopher Rocchio and Red Rising by Pierce Brown. And that is the end of the video.